Welcome to Tech Tuesday on the Final Boss podcast, where innovation meets attitude, and the future gets decoded one bite at a time. I'm your host, Turbo the CEO, and your co-host, Mike Foth. And today we're diving deep into the tech trenches to uncover the tools, trends, and truths shaping tomorrow. Whether you're a code slinger, gadget geek, or just tech curious, this is your weekly power-up. So grab your controller, plug in, and let's level up.
Welcome to the Final Boss podcast. Tech Tuesday. Man, let me tell you. Last night was the show you did not want to miss. Last night was the show that you did not want to miss. For Motivation Monday, man, it was astounding. But listen, man, it's Tech Tuesday, and I think the sensei might be on it. He should be on his way, but while he's not here, I'm gonna go ahead and do what it do. So, to each and every last single one of you joining us right now, no matter where you are, where is everybody? I don't see anyone. Oh, they're starting to come in. Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. And thank you for joining us and continuing to be here with us each and every Tuesday for Tech Tuesday. I greatly appreciate you. I know the sensei greatly appreciates you. And man, if you can just continue to send us your support via the DM us, right? DM us, or send us an email at info@thefinalbosspodcast.com. And now you guys can go to our website. We have a new website. The website is www.thefinalbosspodcast.com. That's, hold on, this is the sensei. Let's see what's going on. Give me a second, good people. Oh, I said it. There he is. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and add the good sensei. He's on board, and then I will continue with the introduction. Boom. There he is.
Technological glitch.
Hey, it happens. You know, and believe it or not, people don't know. It happens more than you realize. So, welcome, Sensei. How are you today, sir?
Living the dream.
Oh man, you always live in a dream, man. That is amazing. Hopefully, it's a good and great dream.
Hopefully, it's not a nightmare.
Right. Not a nightmare. So I'm just telling the good people, man, about the new website and giving them the link. And the link is www.thefinalbosspodcast.com. Again, that's www.thefinalbosspodcast.com. And I feel like we shouldn't be still saying www. That's how long we had the internet? How long?
A couple of days. It's brand new.
Just it's brand new, right? This is a couple of days. Right?
It's brand new. It's not serious.
Yeah, exactly my point. So yes, you can leave us feedback on the website in that portal. You can also leave us feedback on all the social media sites that we're on. We're on Twitch, we're on Kick, we're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Spotify. So, and more on the way. So be looking out for that. And tonight, man, tonight is one episode number 124. Episode number 124. On our way to episode 200. It'll be here before you know it. It will be here before you know it. And we have a great show for you tonight, man. Oh boy, man, we have a great show for you tonight. And we can already get into it, man. Let's get into the brass tacks. And tonight, the brass tacks comes from Perry Ann Boring, founder of the Chamber of Digital Commerce. And here it is. Blockchain technology has such a wide range of transformational use and cases, from recreating the plumbing of Wall Street to recreating financial sovereignty in the furthest regions of the world. And that, my friends and Final Boss Nation, that is our brass tacks. And we're going to get into it, man. Episode number 124. We're going to be talking about QFS systems. If you're not familiar with QFS systems, QFS system is the quantum financial system that's pretty much the backbone behind a lot of blockchain technologies that you will be that's up and coming, that you will soon be utilizing. And if you don't think it's coming, listen, you need to go read a newspaper, a magazine, turn on the news, because it's coming, and it's coming in a major way. So make sure you we're going to make you guys smart on it, so that's that. Let me get rid of some of these icons real quick so we can get into tonight's show. And boom, and they're gone, man, like magic. How you feel about tonight's show? Boom.
Feeling good about it.
All right. So, Final Boss Nation, we are here, and it is Tech Tuesday, and I am here. The sensei is here, right? And we are your host. But you know me, man. You know me. As always, I bring the most difficult of conversations to the Final Boss podcast, and it is this season going down right now. This is like the WWE intro. I love it, man. I love it. How you feeling, brother?
Oh, I'm feeling good.
Yeah, man. Good. Oh man. Today we're tackling something that's been blowing up a lot of people's DMs, including mine, and it's something that I say they got people either super hyped or they calling it conspiracy theory. Like everything is a conspiracy theory, man. I guess it's conspiracy until it's not, right? So,
well, the definition of conspiracy is just somebody else's opinion. A conspiracy is not that it's false. A conspiracy is just, it's a different opinion. That's all it is.
That's a great way to look at it.
You're just not it might not be a mainstream opinion,
right?
But it's just a difference of opinion, and it doesn't have to be mainstream. But mainstream calls it conspiracy to give it a negative label. But in reality, it's just I've got a different view. You got a different view. If you've got the mainstream, then you call me a dirty name, and everybody thinks it's a dirty name. That's all it is.
Wow. Well, thank you, sir. Thank you for that great information. And look, like I said, people, we're talking about quantum financial systems, or QFS for short. And Mike, before we go deep, man, let me ask you something. What exactly are we dealing with here? Is this real for the people? Is this science fiction, or just another internet rabbit hole? And before you answer that, crazy thing happened this morning. My TV is usually on all night, and I woke up to 1984. I kid you not. It was playing on my TV. I was like, wait a minute, what is going on here? It was definitely on, and
what's behind me? What's behind me?
Yeah.
It's more real than you think.
Absolutely.
So that's a really good question, because it's kind of like all the above what you said, depending on who you're talking to. But here's the thing. Quantum computing is absolutely real. Quantum computing is realer than it's real. I mean, you can actually say, no, it's fake, it's not real. No, it's here. Major banks are definitely investing in it. You think everybody's investing in AI? AI is one piece of the puzzle.
Correct.
All right. So that's like, for example, you got a coffee cup and you got some coffee in the cup. AI is the coffee in the cup. Quantum computing is the cup. Okay. The quantum computing is the cup,
Absolutely.
right? So what it is, the quantum financial system, as
Mhm.
described in many online communities, so it gets complicated, but we're going to separate fact from fiction. That's what we're going to do here today.
And that's exactly what we need to hear the sensei and how he breaks it down. Because he breaks it down for everybody, man. Like, go back and watch some of the Tech Tuesday shows. He breaks it down for even kindergartens can understand. And that right there is a super skill set. Like, nope, everybody doesn't have that skill set. How you can take a broad level, high level, super tier level of information, especially when it comes to technology, and break it all the way down that for kindergartens to even understand. Not everyone can do that, and the sensei has that skill set. So thank you again, sir. We appreciate you for doing that. That's good. Yep. Yes, sir. Look, our listeners always deserve the truth. They deserve to know what's real innovation and what's hype. So we're going to take our time, good people. We're going to take our time and we're going to look at the actual technology. We're going to look at what the major banks are really doing, and we're going to address some of the conspiracy theories head on. How's that sound, Sensei?
Sounds good to me.
All
Let's get
right,
out the information.
let's get it out. All right,
Mhm.
let's start from the ground up, right? And when we say quantum computing, what are we really talking about? Um, yeah, what are we really talking about?
So the thing is right now, all the computers we use, all of our technology, it's based on zeros and ones.
Mm-hmm.
It's either on or off.
Correct.
It's called bits. Okay. And so everything we ever see is just a lot of zeros and ones. That's all it is. That's why the matrix behind me, it's just zeros and ones. That's all it is. It's just you happen to have a lot of them being processed very, very rapidly.
Right.
So, for example, if I am two-dimensional, okay, that means I got a flat desk and I fill it full of zeros and ones. That's our
Mm-hmm.
current technology. It's two-dimensional. We can only process information on the flat surface so quickly, but we can really do it fast, but it's still a flat surface.
Right.
Now, quantum, you just went from 2D to three-dimensional.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine the difference when you go from 2D to 3D.
Right.
And that's what quantum is in basic terms. So it completely
Man,
changes how the data is processed.
correct. So I'm following you with the binary code, but hold up. We're talking about something that's moving and operating at both at the same time,
Right.
right?
Yeah. It's a instead of us having bits, which is only a 0 and 1, we got
Mm-hmm.
things called qubits. And this is where it gets a little wild because quantum mechanics, the physics of really tiny particles, a qubit can be a 0 or 1, both at the same time. It's called superposition.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you ever watch The Big Bang Theory, they talk about this stuff.
Yeah, superposition. Yeah, I'm familiar with that, man. I'm always fascinated by that, and it's super mind blowing. Um, and but what does that mean for computing power?
So at the quantum level, particles behave in ways that seem to break our everyday logic. Think of this. If you flip a coin, while it's spinning in the air, it can be like both heads or tails until it
Mm,
lands. So qubits are like
that's
coins that can stay in the spinning state and do calculations while they're spinning. Think about that. It's
mm,
both heads and tails at the same time.
right.
So that's pretty amazing.
That is pretty amazing. So we're talking about something completely different on a different level. And we're
Correct.
talking
Like I
about
said,
computer level that's
mhm,
yeah, when it comes to quantum computing.
right. It's like going from two-dimensional to three-dimensional. It's so crazy because
Right.
quantum computers can process certain types of problems exponentially faster than traditional
Hmm.
computers. Problems that would take classical computers thousands of years could potentially be solved in minutes or hours by quantum computers. But, and this is important, they're not better at everything. They're specialized tools for specific types of problems. It's not like it's going to be for everything you do.
Right.
It's certain things are going to benefit from quantum computing.
So people, don't put all your eggs in one basket when it comes to quantum computing. It's not there yet, but it will be. It's coming. It's definitely coming.
Right. So we're talking about, and we've talked about this in the past, a thing called the quantum apocalypse. And what that is, when we use quantum computing and we attack encryption. If you ever look at how long passwords you have to create these crazy passwords and how long it takes with conventional computers to break those passwords,
right?
And it says 10,000 years to break this with conventional computing. Quantum can do it in 10 minutes. So our encryption that we currently use today is going to be useless because it's a very specific type of problem that quantum is very good at solving.
So since you brought up quantum, the quantum apocalypse, and I know we spoke about it before on one of our past shows, how soon are we talking? How soon do you think that specific thing, the quantum apocalypse, will happen? What are we looking at? What time frame, in your opinion?
So this is where we have to be careful, because let's say that I'm the one who breaks that code. Let's say I'm the one who gets that information, and I'm the one who has that in my hands. Do you think I want to let anybody else know that I have it? Because if the whole world knows that I have it, then they know they have to react to it. But if they think they've got 5 or 10 years, then they just chill out. And I have the upper hand for 5 to 10 years. You follow where I'm going with this, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So I don't think we're going to know when it happens. I think it's going to happen, and somebody very powerful is going to have their hands on it. And we're not going to know because they don't want us to know. And so we are effectively going to be completely unprotected in everything we do because those who have the God key aren't going to let us know they have the God key. That's what I think is going to happen. And I think it's a lot closer than you could ever imagine.
Man,
I just think it is.
That makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense.
I mean, if you had the God key, would you tell anybody?
Absolutely not. That's something I'm definitely gatekeeping.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, nobody know. You got the God key? Nope. What? I don't know what the God key is. Nope. I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing. I don't. Not me.
Wow, that makes perfect sense. So, what about fraud detection? You mentioned.
So, when we start talking about financial institutions and fraud's a big deal, right?
Right.
So, all right. So risk analysis. Banks have to compute or calculate risk across thousands of variables, market conditions, economic factors, all this complicated stuff. It takes forever to crunch the numbers, so to speak, right?
Correct.
So, all right. So with classical computers, it takes too long to do that. So they don't have the time and the computing power to just grind on numbers to give them calculations that are based on complicated formulas.
Right.
So what's going to make that better? Quantum will.
Quantum will, absolutely.
Overnight calculation could potentially happen in real time. Look, there's a thing called portfolio optimization, and this is where the finance starts to come into play. If you're managing billions of dollars across thousands of investments, finding the optimal balance is a massive computational problem. The sheer data is just overwhelming to try and analyze, especially in time to make a decision.
Correct.
So quantum computers excel at optimization problems. And then, like you had mentioned, fraud detection. Look, machine learned algorithms that detect fraudulent transactions could become far more sophisticated with quantum computing. They could analyze patterns across millions of transactions simultaneously in ways that classical computers, they have no chance. So fraud
Absolutely.
can just happen because they might try and catch them after the fact, but there's so much happening at any given time, they can't catch it while it's happening. Quantum computing is going to allow it that we can detect fraud as it's happening, real time.
Man, so we're talking about better security, faster analysis, smarter investing, and all things that will revolutionize banking amongst other things that need uh, rapid computations. But I got to ask, are banks actually using this stuff right now, or is it all theoretical?
So that's the question right there, right? That's the billion. Not even, we don't even say $1 million question anymore, because nowadays being a millionaire just doesn't cut it.
Right.
Because you remember a gold bar back in the 30s could buy you a house. The same gold bar today buys a house. And back then a house cost what? $30,000, and now a house costs $400,000. So what's
Correct.
changed? The gold
Yeah.
hasn't changed. The house hasn't changed. So now we don't talk about millions anymore. We talk about billions and trillions. Okay. So the answer is they're experimenting with it right now. They're testing it right now. There's no widespread deployment right now, but it is in recent news. There was a major breakthrough in the month of September of 2025.
Wow. Man, that's pretty awesome. And you know what? I'm going to start using $1 billion question because it makes perfect sense. Why
Oh, yeah.
would I use $1 million question when in actuality it's the $1 billion question? So I'm adding that to my linguistic repertoire. So
It used to be you could put $1 million in investment and live off the interest. Now that's not enough anymore. Now you have to have millions of dollars in investment to be able to live off the interest.
True.
So $1 million don't cut it anymore. When you talk houses nowadays that are $1 million, and I'm not talking a fancy house either.
Yeah. Exactly. A house that was probably was $300,000 back in the 80s and 90s.
Oh, 300.
That's
Shit,
$1 million. Yeah, that's $1 million
it,
plus dollar home.
yeah, it was a $200,000 house. Look in Southern California where these houses were $100,000, $150,000. Now they're going close to $1 million. It's crazy.
That's true. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
that's true. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah, man. So yeah, tell me more about these financial systems that we were just speaking of.
So HSBC and IBM, they announced what they're calling a world first. And this is they successfully used quantum computing to improve bond trading predictions. So, trades are all about predictions. Where is the market going to go and what's going to happen? So there wasn't a simulation. They used real production data on actual IBM quantum computers. They analyzed over 1 million quote requests across 5,000 corporate bonds.
Wow.
34% improvement.
34% improvement. That's not incremental. That's game changing. So this is actually happening right now. This is incredible.
Right. So
Yeah.
that's a double-edged sword.
Yeah. True.
If you're a tiny trader, an individual who just dabbles in the stock market, you're now going to compete against a system which has ways to predict what's going to happen that you can never touch. They're going to be 100 to 1,000 steps ahead of you at all times. So even being a small investor in the market right now is going to become riskier and more dangerous because the big guys who are using quantum technology are going to have such an advantage. It's like when trades started to go and utilize the internet to do trades, how fast they got done instead of having to call on the telephone and make a trade. Imagine if you were on the phone calling to make a trade and somebody behind the scenes has already made 1,000 trades on the computer. That's the kind of difference we're talking.
That's not even competition. In the game of cards, that's what we call a Boston.
There's no competition at all.
No competition at all. Yeah.
Nope. I mean, this is controlled trials, right? This is what's the early adoption phase. It's when it first starts happening, showing real results. Right. And once you have those kind of results, you think everybody's not going to invest in this and go, "Hey, I want this."
Absolutely, they are.
So it's like the proof of concept, right? Prove the concept, and everybody invests in it. So it's like the days of the early internet. You could see the potential. Some people are using it, but it wasn't everywhere yet. Now, think about when the 90s was and when we are now. What year are we in now?
2025. And
let's say 1990 was what year? How many years ago?
That was what? The Don't get
35 years
35.
ago.
Yep, 35 years ago.
All right, take that same template and apply it forward. Right now, we're early adoption of quantum technology and financial. Move that forward 35 years.
Man, that is something to marvel at.
It's mind-boggling.
That is mind-boggling.
Mind-boggling. And the big guys who have the money to invest in this are going to be so far ahead of the game.
Yeah.
That it's going to be impossible to even dream about catching up.
That's unfortunate, but you're absolutely correct. Because if you have the money to invest in it, the little man continues to lose. As always.
Well, look at the housing market.
Yeah.
Wall Street got involved in the housing market with the Zillow scandal. And what happened? What happened? The little guy can't afford to buy a house anymore.
Right.
Because Wall Street got into housing. I mean, that's just reality. That's not even the conspiracy. Go
that's
look
a whole
that up.
Another conversation we can have, man, because
that's everywhere though. The thing is that's old hat. That's not even current news. We're talking that's old. So we're not even talking about anything that's even hidden anymore. That's like when they talked about years ago. That's not even worth talking about.
That is amazing, man. So earlier a few minutes ago, when we was talking about HSBC and IBM, who else might be in the game? Do you have the roster? I know you do.
Well, that's a good question because it isn't just one or two players. It's all the players, right?
Right.
And look, this is public information. I am not conspiracy theorying nothing. I am telling you things. You don't believe me? Go look it up. It's all in public knowledge. Because it doesn't matter. You can't change it anyway. It's happening so fast that whatever. Nobody cares if you know because it doesn't matter. Right. So look, JPMorgan Chase. You know who those guys are? Right? That's one of the biggest powerhouses in the world. And they're probably the furthest along in this. They account for 2/3 of all quantum-related job postings among the top 50 banks.
Wow.
And they publish more than a half of the quantum research papers coming from major banks.
That's fascinating. That is fascinating.
I'm telling you. It's crazy. Look, this is serious. In 2022, JPMorgan successfully used, in 2022, almost 4 years ago.
Right.
JPMorgan successfully used quantum key distribution. Now, when we talk encryption, we talk about there's keys. Everything's about keys. You have a public key that the world can see, and you got a private key, which is your key. Correct. We encrypt with the private key, a public key. We decrypt with the private key, right? So it's two keys. It's called, the terminology is called Diffie-Hellman. It's called key exchange. I teach it in security. It's PKI. Just a way of, it's a way to lock and unlock files. It's all that. It's just simple. Locking and unlocking. Right. Well, they use quantum key distribution. Super, super, super secure way of transmitting information. Then it's theoretically impossible to hack because by the time you touch it to try to intercept it, you change it. So therefore, it's not the same because the moment you look at it or try to change it or touch it or intercept it, you have already changed it. There's a thing called the Heisenberg theory, which says the act of measuring the temperature of water changes the temperature of water. So if my water is here in a bucket and I put a thermometer in the water, the temperature is going to change because I put the thermometer in the water. So it's no longer the same temperature. If the thermometer is warmer than the water, it's minutely going to change the temperature of the water. If it's colder than the water, it's going to change the temperature of the water. So the act of measuring changes the item, right? So that's quantum. So it's theoretically impossible to hack this. So they've also developed a portfolio optimization algorithms that run thousands of times faster using quantum-inspired methods. Now think about this. That's 3 years ago.
Right. Wow. 1,000 times faster 3 years ago. Mike, man, help us understand what that means in practical terms. What are we looking at?
All right. So look, I'm a fund manager, okay? I want to rebalance my portfolio with tens of thousands of assets, too much for me to keep eyes on because I've got assets everywhere. With
Right.
traditional computing, it might take hours to require simplifications. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it takes hours to process it, or I have to simplify it to understand it. With quantum methods, you can do it in seconds while considering other variables. So it's like if I can take my attention and I can be thinking over here, and at the same time I'm thinking over there, and they're both independent of each other. You see what happens?
Yeah.
I get so much more done at the same time.
Time. Right.
It's like the differences between making decisions based on yesterday's market, the past,
Mm.
or making decisions based on what's happening right now. And that has always been the golden crucible of the stock market. They have wanted to have access to immediate information right now,
Right now.
live
Mm-hmm.
data,
Yeah.
because you make the best decisions and can pivot most rapidly as it's happening, not after the fact.
Absolutely. And that point that's above competitive advantage. That right there, man,
It's like you own the game.
yeah, you're monopolizing it
Yeah.
completely. Yeah. And so, who else is in the mix?
Well, another big name, if you ever hear about finances, Goldman
Mm-hmm.
Sachs.
Of
They've been
course.
investing in quantum since 2012.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they actually backed a company, the hardware company called D-Wave Systems, and they're developing quantum algorithms specifically for options trading. And Wells Fargo joined the IBM Quantum Network. And go look up what is the IBM Quantum Network. Just go check that out. Google that bad boy.
Oh boy.
It's a community of companies working on quantum applications. They're all focusing on AI and quantum computing integration. So you remember how you and I talked about, we always said AI, 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 AI. And what did I say? It is not that you worry about AI, it's you worry about when AI and quantum computing come together.
Right.
And these companies already have a platform where they are working diligently every day to integrate quantum computing and AI together.
Wow. Oh boy.
That's not
Man.
going three-dimensional. Now we're going four-dimensional.
4D. We're talking about next level of predictabilities and
Look, it's already, there's enough information right now on the internet, right now on the web, for most
mhm.
people in the world. You can predict so accurately next year exactly what
But
you
there be
are going to be doing.
hmm
You remember the movie Minority Report?
absolutely one of my favorite movies.
Okay, good. What did they predict?
They predicted crimes before they
Crime
happened. Yeah.
before they happen. You get arrested before you committed a crime. They
Yep.
said it was in the movie. It was the prodigy who could do that.
Yeah.
Imagine now, take that prodigy and superimpose that. That's no longer a person.
hmm
It's a system. It's a quantum computer with AI, and it does that.
You know what just came to my in mind? Thought police. If
Thought
you think
police.
about it, Minority Report, along with 1984, along with there's another movie that was out, Tay Diggs and I forgot the name of the movie, but it was one of these dystopian movies, and all of them have thought police in common.
hmm
Yeah.
Look, Bank of America's filing quantum-related patents. They're already patenting this stuff. So when they patent it, how close to reality is it?
Yeah.
Citibank.
Yeah.
Citibank hired a director of quantum computing in 2024. Everybody's running quantum experiments. It's just the list goes on and on and on.
Yeah. So now we're talking about a global race. This is not just an American thing.
No, it's global.
Mm.
Look, China, Europe, US, Lottie-Dottie, and everybody.
Right.
They're investing heavily. You think everybody says, we hear in the news, it's all about AI. No, AI is the left hand. Quantum is the right hand.
Right.
And what happens when you can bring the two hands together? You better pray. You better bend over and hope you can reach your own butt to kiss
Oh boy!
goodbye.
Whoa! Flag on the play, Mike. That deserves a flag on the play, sir.
You better hope you can bend over to kiss your own butt. You kiss it goodbye.
Man.
I'm telling
Mike,
you.
Man, thanks for that, man. I appreciate your insight, man. And I gotta ask, if I know all this is real and the banks are doing all this research, where does quantum financial system conspiracy theory come from? Why are people so confused about what's real and what's not?
Well, this is what we got to talk about, because there's a massive gap between what the banks are actually doing with this technology and what the theory claims. So we need to break it down.
Okay.
So look, the theory, as it's promoted online, describes a complete replacement of the global financial system. And the claims include, one, it'll use quantum computing and AI to handle all transactions instantly.
Mm-hmm.
Two, that it would be able to completely decentralize and eliminate the need for banks as intermediaries. Now, you and I know, do you think the banks are going to give up the power? No.
No, not at all.
Banks don't give up the power. I mean, they just don't. Three, that currencies would be backed by gold or other physical assets instead of being fiat currency. And guess what that also is? That's a lie.
Yeah.
Because do you seriously think, if you looked at what was the act that was passed after the big beautiful bill? What was the other one that they passed right after that?
I know what you're talking about. I don't recall the exact name of it.
The Genius Act.
Okay, yeah, the Genius Act. Yep.
All right. Now, what did they say in the Genius Act? In the Genius Act, they said, we're going to now create a government-backed currency with digital assets so that it's now protected. Ooh, so does that sound like decentralization?
No, not at all.
That's the opposite of decentralization.
It's definitely opposite.
And these theories are so stupid because the systems that are in control are not going to give up their control. They're going to get more control. So it's not going to become decentralized. It's going to become hyper centralized with the illusion of decentralization. That's why you have these theories out there that talk all these fancy things just to throw you off the scent.
Right.
Look, when Doge came through, we thought it was the best thing ever. We're going to stop wasting government money.
Ooh,
great.
Boy.
But what did it do? It took IRS, Social Security, health system, all these various independent separate databases, and now they're one. So what is that?
The P.
Under one.
Under the
so
P.
What does that mean? What does that mean? That means
you don't want to say under the P.
We have more control in one place than we ever did before.
True.
So your P as in privacy is GONE by.
And
what's the next thing after that? Let's implement digital currency.
Right.
And what's so nice about that? Okay. We're going to replace the SWIFT system. The SWIFT system was used where they move money in between countries. And it takes days. It takes forever. Look, it's for international transfers. And a lot of money moves between countries. It just happens all the time.
Right.
All right. So that would be unhackable with quantum encryption, number one. 6, this is where it gets really out there. And it's either already implemented secretly or it's going to be launched as a global financial reset. Now, have we already talked about that many of the big players are talking about us having universal basic income, right?
Right.
If we implement a digital currency, right on its heels, it's going to be a universal basic income. Now, we always said, well, they print money out of thin air. If you look at how money comes into circulation right now, there is no such thing right now as gold-based money right now. Okay, what you do is you have a bank that has this thing called money, and they loan you, a farmer, $100. They loan the next farmer $100, and they charge 10% interest. At the end of the year, how much money do you owe as farmer number one? You owe 110 because it's 10% interest for the year. Okay, how much is in circulation? $100. It's not 110 in circulation, so you as a farmer cannot pay your debt. There's not enough money in circulation. So the
Right.
next farmer borrows $100. Now you go make some hay and you sell it to farmer number 2. He
Mm.
gives you $10 for your hay. At the end of the year, can you pay off your debt? Yes, you can. You have 110. Can farmer
Mm.
number 2 pay off his debt? Nope.
No.
He can
No.
only pay the interest. And at the end of years, 7 years, he's bankrupt because he's considered
Mm-hmm.
insolvent. This is the system we have. 90% of the money created today is loaned into existence. The only thing created is the principal, not the interest. What that means is when you hear about national debt, that's a joke. The national debt means nothing. The reason why it means nothing, because the money was created out of thin air. So it doesn't mean a damn thing.
Mm.
And that's not a theory. That's reality.
That
So
is real.
imagine now we take and if we upset the stock market and we change our currency, every time the currency is changed, it was devalued. We had the gold standard. The
Mm-hmm.
money was devalued to go to the silver standard. It was devalued to go to the Federal Reserve. And then from there, the Federal Reserve system. So we've devalued the currency every time we've changed it. You think if we go to a digital currency, it's not going to devalue again? So you got $100,000 in the bank and suddenly it's worth $10. If you ever heard about the horror stories in Venezuela where it took a wheelbarrow full of money to buy a loaf of bread,
Yeah.
that's coming.
Yeah. I saw they was burning money and doing all types of stuff over
Oh, yeah. Imagine that's coming.
there. Yeah.
Because the moment we go to digital currency, your money you have is useless.
Mm. So, and thank you,
That's,
sir.
that's a financial reset. That's called a financial reset.
And you know what? A lot of those pieces that you've just mentioned, I see where how I see how a social credit score system would come about. If
Of course.
especially if they're supplying you with money or income with
Right.
the
If they give you
UBI.
money,
If they
there's
give you
strict-
money, you can't just freely go spend it. That's not how it's going to work.
Look, ask anybody who's been on the welfare or social system. When they give you an EBT card, you can only buy certain things with it.
Correct.
Now imagine, let's take that concept of that and move it forward. Now you
Ooh.
get money from the government. You don't think they're going to tell you how to spend your money or when you can spend it. And if you don't spend it and you're hoarding your money, they're going to make your money expire because it's digital. They can do that now. They'll make your money go expire. So you have to use the money by this date. Otherwise, you don't have it anymore.
Wow.
So they can effectively keep you in poverty indefinitely.
Yeah.
So much for the American dream of earning your way up to become a rich person when you start out poor. That will never happen again.
That is gone. Phew.
Gone. See you later.
See you
Toodaloo.
later.
Hasta la mañana.
Yep.
Nice,
So man,
nice
let me
knowing
ask
you.
you that's incredible. But that's where we're at, and that's the times we're living in. If you don't think it's happening, you can absolutely look up in the research and do your own research on all the things that we're talking about. This information is readily available, and it's happening. So, Sensei, we would originally we was just talking about the QFS theory now, and we're talking about different conspiracies. A lot of conversations out there about NESARA, GESARA. Can you bring some light in what these terms are? Because a lot of people who've never heard it probably don't even understand what it means.
Right. NESARA is called the National Economic Security and Recovery Act.
Mm-hmm.
GESARA, GESARA, is a global version. The theory says there's a secret law that'll cancel debts, abolish the IRS, whatever. Return to the gold standard. Hang on. And other dramatic changes. Hang on a second. You can get your flag ready. Because here, I got a little something for you. Don't forget to exhale. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You might be messing with the devil's lettuce if you believe that. It's not hidden legislation. It's a conspiracy theory. It's used to scam people to let you know, oh, you don't have to do anything. Don't worry about nothing. You're good.
Yeah. So when people talk about QFS in connection with these theories, that's definitely a red flag.
It's
here
huge.
It is, people. Here it is, the red flag.
Look, if somebody's promising it's going to make you rich overnight, eliminate your debt, and but it requires you to invest in specific cryptocurrencies to get in early, that's a scam. All right, so what's the one that everybody was talking about like forever? What was the one? Everybody was talking about it. It was the hugest thing. They were like, oh, as soon as they get past this legislation or that legislation, it's going to be the best thing ever. And by the end of the year, you're going to have 10,000 times the money. Everybody heard of XRP?
Yeah.
It's trading today at $2.84. Why is the hype about it? So you invest in it, which drives up the price. It's a
Right.
scam.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a scam.
There was another one, man. It was it a Dogecoin? It was. I think that was the one people were dumping millions into, and it didn't go anywhere.
Look, I'm telling you this,
Yeah.
and I'm not Nostradamus, but I'm going to predict a little something.
Okay.
All right.
Wait, hold up. Time out. Wait. You said you're not Nostradamus?
Nope.
Okay.
Right. But I'm going to predict a little something.
Okay.
And you can say you heard it here. I am saying, and this is just me talking, and this is just for entertainment purposes only.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying that in 2026, we're going to have a big crypto crash, and trillions are going to be lost.
Ooh, that doesn't sound like a crash.
People are going to go into a panic mode. And guess who's going to step in and say, "Hey, we've got a secure version of this. We're going to back it."
Oh yeah.
And it's the digital dollar, baby.
Yeah.
And once that happens, and the crash, which is I believe going to be engineered, and when it happens, and it's a big crash, and the government steps in and goes, "We're here to help," everybody's going to jump on the bandwagon, and suddenly we're going to move from regular currency, and that's going to be, I think, the ushering event to bring us into digital currency. Because right now, the entire world and the World Bank is fully positioned everywhere in the world for us to be 100% digital, and that's the goal, to be no later than 2030 to be 100% digital currency in the entire world. And they want everybody to adopt.
Wow.
And you don't believe me? Go look it up. They got videos of the WHO sitting there talking about this stuff, about all the things they've done to make it happen.
Yeah.
The WBO.
Man.
And if you think we're going to decentralize and get rid of the banks?
No, we know that's not going to happen.
You think the bank's going to let that happen? Why do you think crypto is even allowed to happen right now? Crypto is allowed to happen right now to get you used to the idea of a cryptocurrency. That's the only reason it's allowed to happen. Because if you weren't allowed to do crypto, it's illegal, it wouldn't get the foothold or the popularity it has right now. It wouldn't become globally accepted. How do you cook a frog? Do you throw them in a frying pan, or do you put them in cold water and put it on a stove and start boiling it? Heat the water up slowly. You'll cook the frog. He'll never know he's cooked till it's too late.
I've never had frog before, so
I have. Good eating.
So Sensei, man, let me ask you this: we've talked about what's real and what's not real. Now can we let's talk about quantum technology that can actually do finance? What are some legitimate, proven applications?
Well, we talked about some, briefly touched on it earlier, right? Which is the portfolio optimization. To look at these massive portfolios that have all this intricate data, and it's the most advanced application right now. This is where the tip of the spear is. Quantum algorithms can analyze thousands of potential investment combinations. So if I can do, like in Marvel, Doctor Strange, and analyze every possible prediction and know which one's going to be the one that I win, that's what's happening right now. That's what quantum is. Imagine, if you want to put it into visual terms, imagine Doctor Strange analyzing how to beat Thanos.
Yeah, he did 14 million different.
Every scenario that there was until he found the one. Okay, so imagine, and that's putting it in practical terms that you can kind of get at your mind around it. So imagine it happens simultaneously. So now you can find the optimal asset allocation strategies that balance risk and return. So that means you don't ever lose. You will always win.
Win, and that's what it's all about. That's impressive.
Well, for the financial market, they don't want to lose anything. They always want to win.
They sure do.
If anybody loses, it's us, because we're the little guy and we deserve to lose. That's, look, 1,000 times faster. Oh my God.
Yeah, 1,000 times faster than classical methods. That's incredible.
Yep.
That's incredible. So, man, you know, that's impressive. What else? What else?
Okay, so risk modeling. Think about insurance companies, right?
Right.
You're gonna go to get health insurance, And it's not just the DNA you gave up to 23andMe that they use and can predict, but they can look at all of your financial transactions instantly. Everything you do, your phone can track you 24/7. They'll know if you're exercising or not. They know if you're healthy or not based upon what you're buying in the store. They everything about your life can be analyzed. And then you go to get health insurance. And they go, I mean, life insurance. They say, "Oh, I'm sorry, you can't get life insurance because you're going to die in 2 years, 3 days, and 15 minutes." And they're going to be accurate within 5 seconds.
Man, these prediction models are incredible. Better preparedness for different scenarios. That sounds like something out of sci-fi, but it's actually sci now. I'm gonna say it's not sci-fi, it's sci now.
Oh, it's now.
Yeah.
Now, think about this. You think that kind of power is only going to be in the hands of the financial?
Oh, no, absolutely not.
Anybody who wants control of you is going to want to have their hands in this pie. Anybody. You don't think Amazon and Google and Microsoft already know everything about you?
They sure do.
And if you want to include the Facebook, Instagram folks, which Facebook and Instagram being the same animal, look, if you want to just look and see who owns what, like I've always said, if you want to know what's going on in the world, track the money. All the big data brokers, they share information. They don't care.
Yeah.
They don't care if it's secondhand information. They'll take it. It's unbelievable. Look, it's a big opportunity, but also a significant threat. Your privacy, thing of the past. Your autonomy, thing of the past. Your freedom, it will be a thing of the past. Like, and I'm not even joking. I'm like hardcore telling you. You think you're in trouble now? You think, look, in England right now, if you post the wrong thing on Facebook, you go to jail.
What?
Look it up.
Man.
It's happening already. And right now, England just got done saying you're not going to be able to work without a digital ID.
I did see that. I did see that report. I think I saw that today. Yeah.
It's real. Welcome to your neighborhood. It's coming.
These aren't threats, people. And we're not trying to scare anyone. We're just giving you the facts. And of course, this is for entertainment purposes only. But I mean, it's information. You do what you will, and it's up to you. It's up to you, people. It's up to you.
Now think about this. When it talks to personal stuff, you know how you get these little spam emails that are trying to get you to click this and click that, and you get these little things that are trying to scam you, and they look real, but they're not.
Right.
Imagine now that those get more and more and more sophisticated to the point where you can't even tell if it's real or not.
It's true.
But the only way you're going to protect yourself is utilize the same technology to protect yourself. So you're going to have, like person of interest, a good machine and bad machine, and you're going to have to try to protect yourself using the same technology that's out there that the bad guys are using.
That makes sense.
There's already a thing called ransomware as a service.
Yeah.
Okay, you know, if you ever into technology, they have this thing called software as a service. And the easiest way to explain that is, let's say I'm using QuickBooks Online. I do my banking and all my stuff, and I use my QuickBooks. It does all my accounting online. That's called software as a service. Okay, but they got a thing out there right now called ransomware as a service. And there was an example that was in the news that a hospital got hit with ransomware, and they paid the ransomware. But the ransomware person who infected them had gotten the software from the actual coder and was agreed they would pay them a cut. Then when they got the money, they left and never gave a cut to the original guy who had the original software, who still had a copy of the data. You see what happens, right? There's no honor among thieves. So what I'm getting at is this stuff, these technologies are going to become available to the bad guys because somebody's going to have the money to house it.
Right.
And sublease it out to everybody else.
Yeah. Sounds like the arms race.
Oh, it is the arms race
of quantum computers.
Yeah, just don't be buying. Don't be buying no high point version.
Right.
You want to get a Sig Sauer, right, or H and K. You do not want a High Point.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. So
Man.
right now, there's a huge push, right? We talked about the quantum apocalypse. There's a huge push for post-quantum cryptography, quantum resistant encryption. This is huge, man. This is already like big investment. Because imagine now, if you get caught off guard and this stuff goes live and you're not protected, all your secrets are out.
Yeah. Man, that sounds like some James Bond stuff right there, man.
And it is truly, like you said, it is an arms race.
Oh, boy.
Mm-hmm. Look, there's a thing called quantum key distribution. The Chinese have already proven it years ago. They could take an encrypted key, they sent it up in a satellite and sent it back.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah, that's been a minute.
Yeah.
They've already proven it's possible. It's called QKD. Use the actual principle of quantum mechanics to create theoretically unbreakable encryption. JPMorgan tested it in 2022. Look, I told you it's called the Heisenberg principle. If you measure the water, it changes it. Same thing with this quantum encryption keys. If somebody tries to look at it, touch it, or in any way capture it, it changes it as it's being captured or touched.
Captured, right.
Yeah.
So in summary, portfolio optimization, risk modeling, cryptography, both offensive and defensive.
Yep.
And these are happening now and in active development.
Development. Sure. And look, there's more applications being explored. Fraud detection using quantum machine learning, regulatory compliance. Oh boy, that's gonna be a big one. Look, and you think the IRS is bad? Wait till they have quantum computing.
Jeez.
Quantitative analysis of derivatives. You're talking, ooh, this is some heavy duty, big brain thinking. The key is that all these are specific applications of quantum technology. It's not a complete replacement of the entire financial system. It is going to be a massive enhancement of those in control with power. If they have the power, they're going to have God power. And you think they're going to give up the God power? No.
Absolutely not. No.
Mm-mm.
Well, I do not want to even ask about a timeline or a realistic timeline for this to happen because it's already happening. I don't even want to know. I don't.
Right. Current quantum computers they're powerful, but they're limited and they're error prone. They just got to figure out how to make them less prone to errors. That's why it's experimental right now. They can do it. It's a mess. Too much noise.
So they're fragile and temperamental and not exactly ready for prime time.
Right. So it means quantum computers are very sensitive to environmental interference. Temperature, electromagnetic radiation, cosmic rays cause errors. They have to be kept at temperatures close to absolute zero. Current quantum computers can only maintain their quantum state for very short periods before errors accumulate. So imagine now, we talked about the chips that we use in our computers are silicon and how much power they take and how they get hot. Yeah. And we said one of the solutions to that is these biochips, where we can create computing chips that use live brain material. We talked about that in one of our sessions.
Right.
Okay, that's going to completely remove the high power use of AI and the high heat of AI. Imagine we take the same template, apply it to quantum. You follow what's going now, right?
Absolutely.
Once they have a problem, they're going to find a way to figure out the problem. Once they have the basics and says we can prove the concept. Now, the first computers are how big? The size of an apartment complex. And how big are they now?
Yeah.
How big are they now?
Fit on a thumbtack.
How powerful is your cell phone?
Absolutely.
Now imagine how many years did it take to go from a brick phone to what we have today? Take that number, cut it in half, and cut it in half again. So when was the brick phones were out? What, in the early 2000s?
Yeah. Was it early 2000s?
I don't know.
Huh. That's a great question. I don't remember.
No, I'm looking it up.
Okay.
All right. So what we're looking at is 1983, late 80s, brick phones. 90s were the middle class phones, right? Okay, so here we are. So that was how many years ago? We said the 80s let's just not even go to 80s. Let's go to the 90s where they
You
actually.
said
No,
90s.
let's go
90s was
to
35 years ago.
right. Let's go to brick phone. That's 40 years ago, 45 years ago.
Okay.
When I say cut that number in half, the time it went from the 90s to where we are now, and the pace that we went to get there, cut it in half and cut it in half again. We're talking. I'm saying if we're lucky, 5 years, probably less.
Yeah, probably less.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this technology is.
Once they get the error correction thing down, it's over.
Yeah.
It's done.
Man.
And the expense is going to be so big to affordable because the prototype's always the most expensive.
Absolutely. Prototype is always the most expensive. Man, Sensei, can you believe what time it is?
It's time.
Man, this is what happens when you're having a good time. Look, thank you for all of that information, man. This is it's just so insightful. And you know, people, to my smarts, to my final bosses, to my warriors, to the motivators. This isn't no one's trying to scare anyone. This is for entertainment purposes only. But this information
to help you keep your head out of the sand, at least know what's happening.
Exactly. That part right there. Keep your head out of the sand. And you know what? We're going to let that marinate your spine, man. Let that marinate into your spine. And that is our show for tonight, man. That is, whoo, man. Give it up for the sensei. I think this might be a conversation we could revisit, man, and have like a part 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 on. We just touching the surface.
It's hard to approach all the information because there's so much.
Yeah.
And this is why I tell you it's happening faster than we can imagine, because this stuff's already been in play for 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
So this is not new technology, it's emerging. This stuff's already taking hold. So there's so much information that's happening so rapidly because it's maturing and we're actually beginning to see the results of it. It's not behind locked doors anymore. So that's why we're able to talk about it, because we now see that it's live, it's here, it's about to be delivered at prime time.
But if we're talking about it, it's 3-4 years old already, and there are people out there who still never heard of it.
It's 3 to 10 to 15 years old.
Yeah. Well,
crazy, isn't it?
That is crazy. And in great James Bond villain fashion, give the villain laugh for that.
That's right.
Well, look, man, this was episode number 124 QF Systems, y'all. Go research, get some information, man. Get smarter on these things because they're happening, and they're happening right now behind the closed doors in the shadows where you are unaware. But this is what's happening. So we wanted to bring it to you guys, and I hope you were able to grasp some of the concepts, some of the information, and do your own due diligence, man. Go do your own research. Check it out. Sensei, you have any closing words?
Stay alert, stay alive. Analog is the way to go in the future.
Oh boy, man.
Important information. Important information. Write it down on pen and paper and put it in your safe. That's where you put your important information. Don't trust to be in digital format.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. We trust digital too much. Get back to analog. You want to protect yourself in this world? Go back to analog. Have a little notebook. Put your stuff in your notebook and put your notebook away.
Look, when the Final Boss shop is back up, get yourself one of these. It's a great notebook. Final Boss Podcast notebook. Get you one.
That's what I'm telling you. Yeah. Write things in your notebook.
Yeah.
And not just that, you'll remember it more because you wrote it down. It's good for your brain. Great way to keep your ideas. Great way to refer back to your ideas.
Yeah.
And you don't have to get lost once you start doing it.
True.
And it can't be taken away from you.
Cannot be taken away from you.
Digital can be wiped out.
Yeah. Man. We're gonna talk offline, man, after this. I want to bring something to your attention that I've seen a few times this week, and it was like an alarm. So we're gonna talk about that offline. But look, everyone, Thank you for joining us. This has been the Final Boss Podcast. We will see you again on Thursday for Special Guest Thursday, and then again on Sunday. We're sitting down Sundays with the Final Boss. Thank you for joining us. All shows are at 9 p.m. live. And you guys all over the world, no matter where you are, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Thank you for joining us. Please be balanced, be equal, and be smart. That is our show. Y'all have a good night. See you soon.
3 seasons in, and we're just getting started. You've heard the whispers. You've felt the shift. Now it's time to face the boss. Welcome to Season 3 of the Final Boss Podcast, where every episode is a power move, every guest is a game changer, and every Tuesday, a tech takeover, and every Monday is motivational with special guest Thursdays, and sitting down with the Final Boss Sundays, hosted by Turbo the CEO, the architect of insight, the voice of the underground, and your guide through the glitch. Plug in, lock on. This is the Final Boss Podcast. Season 3 starts now.